Hey guys, this is Tom. It is Thursday Night Football, which of course they have in the NFL now, but not the cachet of Monday Night Football for us older fans, or Sunday Night Football for maybe some of the younger fans, which is basically the primetime game of the week now, is the Sunday night game on NBC. We've got a SSFA round of 8 / quarterfinal game between the defending champion, Tony's Minnesota Vikings, 10-6, the 6th seed, traveling to the West Coast to take on Paul, half man, half Minkowitz, and his 11-5 LA Chargers. These two teams played in the regular season. It was a 2010 victory for Minnesota. I played both these teams in the regular season. I won both of those games. A big deal because I'm out and they're in now. We've got half of the semifinal set. Okay, and it looks like the Chargers will be receiving the ball first. Presumably Minnesota won the toss and deferred, but you never know. And we have a kick into the end zone, which of course means I forgot about this. Oh no, it did not disconnect. Well, he took it out. Okay. Tony got plus 22, plus 27, plus 24. Paul tried to take it out, got 26 yards, and he's at his own 25, the same as if it had been a touchback. He wants to shoot for that 61-yarder on a 2. 2-3-4 is good for him. He gets him where he wants to be as well. But you also missed a fumble and 12, but you're on 12-yard line. But really, 7, 9, 10, and 12 hurt you. So, anyway. And Paul's got Todd Gurley, linebacker Todd Gurley, defense calls fast as we're at it right off the gate. 6-yard pick for Gurley up the middle. Gurley, generally considered the best running back card in this 2017 Stratomatic set, which will be retiring within about 5-6 weeks when the new game comes out. 2018, everyone wants to see what Patrick Mahomes' card is going to look like. The new STRAT Football ratings are right around the corner. Literally, they should be out within 5 or 6 days. Some people think sooner. So we'll see. I think Tuesday, July 2nd is my prediction, but you never know. Paul, of course, a great coach, always does great things. Tony won the championship last year with, I think, Andrew Luck and that 666 linebacking unit. I remember that well. It was a 4-3 again this year, but it's only a 4-5-4 the linebacking. But the defensive tackle 6 is making it tough to run on. And both these teams played good defense in the regular season. Tony, I believe, had the number 1 defense in the league in terms of scoring. I believe Dan had the number 1 by yardage. I'm not certain. But a 2nd down and 4. Gurley had a good year for Paul. Nothing like the year he had for Dan over in Samso, which I'm not a member of. I was there a couple of years. Looking past Ryan Griffin, defense blitzing and double teaming elsewhere, but it's going to be guessed right. But it's complete for 4 yards on a first down. And Tyrod Taylor's card. Tyrod Taylor did not have a bad bypass card. Really, 5 only incomplete. Guess wrong. We have a bit of a doubleheader tonight. I won't be calling the second game, but it's going to be Bears at Chiefs. Lawrence against Dan Moore. He's looking past the Gurley on 1st and 10. Defense gets his pass. Defender X incomplete on the potential loss of yardage. On the looking pass, the broadcast seems fine. I'm pretty sure I posted the link on the forum. I want to make sure of that. Indeed, I did. 2nd down and 10. Short pass to Devontae Parker. Defense blitzing 1. Parker coming by 6. Tony goes 6-5-5 left to right in the secondary. And receiver gets right plus 13 yards on 11. First down for Paul up at his own 48. 16-22 for Parker. Both these teams play a 4-3. It's been blocking back 1 halfback for Paul every play so far. Runs a draw to go into left. Defense calls run correctly on the draw play. Am I wrong about this? No linebackers in the zone? Because it's a 4-3, they don't come into off tackle or a draw. Is that right? Defensive end -1 or +5 anyway. Brooks Reed made the play. 5 on a 5. 5-6-6-5 at the front, up front for Tony, and all 5s and 6s in the secondary. That's a good way to play some good defense. 2 6s in the secondary, 1 a free safety, and 1 in the form of left corner Jalen Ramsey. 1 pass Nelson Aguilar. Defense gets the pass, blitzing 2, picked off 2 to 3 and 11, but that's incomplete. So we've got a 3rd down and 11 for Paul. First long yardage here. See what he goes for. Nickel 3-3-5, 3 wide, 1 halfback. Shotgun formation. Gurley in the game as the halfback, of course. Emmanuel Sanders is your 3rd receiver. That's not a bad guy to have, but Tony counters with corner 5, Mike Adams. Normally a safety, but he can play slot corner here in these rules. 3rd and 11. I think Paul's pass block is not as good as usual. I'm not certain. Seven on left tackle, 5s across the board otherwise, which is not bad. Short pass, Nelson Aguilar. Dump off. 2 on the white die against the 3-man line. Nobody was blitzing. Short gain, 13 yards and a 1st down. That dump off, such a killer. 1st down for the Chargers at the Minnesota 40. Maybe I should post the broadcast in the Slack channel, the link as well. I don't want to go for the game, but I put another for him. 1st and 10, Paul at the Minnesota 40. Emmett right to Todd Gurley. Defense gets his pass, but he's got a linebacker there. 6 is 3 yards on Gurley's card. He's got the big runs on the end run, the 2, 3, and 11. And 7 is a short gain. He's not too bad on right. Has some part of yardage elsewhere. I think he's a little more consistent linebacker and maybe off tackle. I don't remember the off tackle card too well. Dennis, I had him as strat 28. I've been the jinx here, Dennis. But we went out in the 1st round, a good team in strat 28. And I went out in the 1st round in SSFA after an excellent regular season. 5 has left to Kobe Flynn, 2 in there. 5 incomplete, gets right or wrong on Taylor. Sets a 3rd and 7 at the Minnesota 37. Paul probably thinking no man's land. Dennis, Tony aware of that. We don't know if the matchups are going to be here. Well, we do actually, to some extent. Dennis is going to San Francisco. And it's going to be the winner of this game facing the winner of the Bears-Chiefs game, which will be at 11:45 Eastern tonight. Short pass, Todd Gurley, 3rd and 7. There's another dump off. Receiver complete for 8 yards and a 1st down to Kobe Fleener. It's nice when you have a lot of good receivers to help you out on these flat pass rights that come up on the dump off. And that time again was a D with white die 4. That's why you can throw those short passes, you would think. One would think. You can throw short passes on 3rd and 7 a lot of times if you have a good line and the other guy doesn't have great pass rush, the dump off might bail you out. Looking past the Kobe Fleener, defense calls run, otherwise stands stationary. Linebacker in zone, Jake Ryan makes the plays, a 5, white die 5. Bring up a 2nd and 10. Part 2, the second night of the first Democratic presidential debates was tonight, or is going on right now. I didn't watch last night, so I'll probably catch up on those in the coming days on YouTube or something, just for the hell of it. That's the first one. I watched some of the Republicans back in 2016. Flat pass right to Todd Gurley. Defense calling run. 2 linebackers there. 6 is +2. That was a white die 6. Would have been an 8-yard pickup. Sorry, it would have been a 10-yard pickup if Tony didn't move his free safety into the proper zone. Tony's been keeping the safety home a lot. It's always easy to do something you have not been doing a lot yet, right? So now after seeing a couple of dump offs, Tony's going to show blitz here on 3rd and 8 with the Chargers at the Minnesota 27. We're almost halfway through the opening quarter already. Looking past to Todd Gurley. Defense double teams elsewhere. Defender X +2 or +8. White die 6 beats the 4. Brian Arabco on the Defender X. And that's a 1st down. So Paul's 3 for 3 on 3rd downs. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. And you got a 1st and 10 now for the Chargers at the Minnesota 19. Strong looking opening drive for LA. Should pass Ryan Griffin. Defense guesses run. 4 men in zone. Chargers have the home field advantage with the good pass defense guards. There's a receiver incomplete on Ryan Griffin. On 8, you don't see that too often. Guess wrong. But he's only a 16-22. 16-22 receiver. I'm a little tired. Excuse me for yawning. I'm not bored. Defense shows blitz. 2nd and 10 to 19. Short pass Ryan Griffin. There's a double team on Aguilar. Must run for 10 yards and a first down. So when you're facing these quarterbacks who can must run a lot, you want to try to double team more. You want to try and generate a pass rush if you can. Try and take away some of those good must runs. So the Chargers got 1st and goal at the 9 of it. Now officially taking up more than half of the opening quarter with this drive. Full house backfield. Derek Morgan, linebacker Alfred Morris is in the game. Defense calls pass. 6 only +1 on Morris. A lot of other good numbers there, except for 5 and 6. And the 2nd and goal for the 8. Paul goes blocking back with halfback with Gurley. Defense down is 4-3. 6:36 to go here in the first quarter. Joined. Todd Gurley, defense gets his run. Only 3 men there. Long gain, touchdown. Would have been good even with 4 men there. No D in the black die anyway, if it was a pass call. Todd Gurley makes his presence felt with the receiving touchdown, 8 yards from Taylor to Gurley. 6-0 Chargers. Will Lutz comes off the extra point. It's up and good, makes it 7-0, and I'm going to automatically exit to try and time this right. Something I won't be doing. Something I won't be doing when Paul's receiving the kick, because he's already shown the ability to take it out. Well, that was only 1 yard deep, so I probably should do it then, even when Paul is receiving one deep into his own end zone. So what we had here is the kick is out to the 27. Minnesota starting at 1st and 10 from their own 27. And linebacker Marshall Lynch gets wrong. Short gain, 19 yards at the first down for beast mode on his last good track on. I don't think next year's will be that great. And I think he's retired or what have you. He's just disappeared quietly, as is his wont, the kind of mysterious guy. Short pass, Tez Bryant, even the calls run. Ball struggling in the secondary. He's got 4s at the corners here. Alex Smith, the quarterback for Tony. Receiver gets wrong, complete for 10 yards at a first down. Tony quickly across midfield and into Charger territory. Paul had a long drive, converting numerous first downs, but Tony 2 plays, 29 yards, and he's at the Charger 44. Block back, 1 halfback with Marshall Lynch. Tony played a very conservative offensive style. Ran the ball a lot, threw a lot of flat and short passes. But there's a long pass to Mike Evans. The 2 blitzes gets past. There's no one there. The free safety moved. Not incompleted Alex Smith's card. Remember that Paul's got the good pass defense here. Home teams are 1-1 so far this postseason. Well, actually, no. Home teams are 1-2. But then if you include Dennis's victory over Washington in the wild card, and why wouldn't you? 2nd down and 10. And you see Paul's got a good defensive line himself, 5'6", 5'5", but 0-4-4 linebacker. He's got the 5 strong safety on Gronk, but 4s at the corners and a 0 free safety. Linebacker Marshall Lynch, defense double teams elsewhere. 2nd down and 10. Tony likes to run it with this team. Defensive left tackle, 0 + 13, no gain. Grady Jarrett makes the play. He's a 6, makes all the plays. That was a white type 4. 3rd down and 10. See Tevin Coleman. I think he had over 800 yards rushing for Tony as his number 2 back. Marshall Lynch being the number 1 back. So 3 wide, 1 halfback. Jordy Nelson checking in as a 3rd wide receiver for these Vikings. Paul's slot corner is a 4, as are his starting outside corners. It's Dexter McDonald. In this case, Paul likes to blitz a lot. I think Tony might have good pass blocking on this team. Got 4-7 to the right guard, 5. Short pass Jordy Nelson. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 4 men in zone. Dump off and play. But nope, snake eyes clean on Alex Smith card is incomplete. It'll be 4th and 10 for the Vikings. They have the punt on their opening possession after starting it off smartly with a couple of good plays for 29 yards. Coffin corner for Dustin Colquitt. Goes a good one. Goes 37 yards, bounces only 3. And the Chargers will have first down at their own 4. Let's see what that defense of Tony's, I believe, was number 1 in scoring. See if they can get in holding, limiting opponent scoring. Fewest points allowed. See if they can get a quick stop here at the Chargers and take advantage of some good field position. Off tackle left to Todd for Todd Gurley. Guess wrong. Offensive line to tackle +4/+1. 4-yard gain behind Mitchell Schwartz. Paul's fielded some subpar offensive lines in the run blocking in recent years, but this one is not one of them. We got the left tackle 6, left guard 5, right tackle 5. Oh, it's not that bad. It's not great, but he's had some with mostly 0s and 4s in recent years. So this one's definitely an upgrade on that. 2nd and 6. Short pass. Nelson Aguilar. Defense gets the pass. And Taylor must run. Takes off 11 yards on a first down. To Rod Taylor, 2 carries, 21 yards. He's been getting the job done through the air and on the ground. On 3rd down especially. 1st and 10 for the Chargers. Up at their own 19. 2:06 to go. We have Lawrence listening in, doing some scouting. Ed, maybe hopefully doing some scouting if he can make it to the Super Bowl and one of these teams is there. Sure best to Kobe Fleeman. Defense gets the pass. 2 blitzes on. There's a must run again. No D. Snake Eyes on a must run +32 for Tyrod Taylor. Up to across midfield to the Minnesota 49. So the animation goes slow motion, so I can't use animation like I used to. I don't know if I wrote to Strat about that or not. But 3 carries, 53 yards for Taylor. And the Chargers are looking good here. Late in the first quarter, they still have a way to go. They're at the Minnesota 49. Short pass, Ryan Griffin, defense balls run, trying to slow down Mr. Gurley. Receiver gets wrong, +15. First down Vikings at the first down Chargers at the Minnesota 34. Taylor, 8 of 13, 71 yards. Gurley had a solid season for Paul. He didn't use it in the way that Dan did with those tremendous numbers of Samsa. But he's solid. You have to respect the card, and you see the run call there. A nice early Taylor balance. Threw a lot more passes than I think you'd expect with this team when I looked at the stats. Looking past the Kobe Fleeman, defense gets his run. Receiver gets wrong. 16 yards and a first down to Fleeman's got some nice yardage there, like many tight ends do on the flat pass wrong. And just like that, the Chargers down to the Minnesota 18. Just moments ago, they're at their own 4-yard line. It feels like we've seen maybe only 1 second down. First down. It was a second down in there somewhere. And we have the 32-yard run for Tyrod Taylor. But now it's 1st and 10 for the Chargers at the Minnesota 18. Off tackle left to Gurley. Guessed correctly, -1. Good call there by Tony. William a short gain gets wrong. Potential touchdown is certainly down near the goal line for the Chargers. Gurley 5 carries, 11 yards. It's been mostly Taylor with the scampering and the throwing. With the running and gunning. We start the second quarter. Only 24 minutes after scheduled kickoff and about 20 minutes after the true kickoff. Short pass to Gurley. Blitzes on. Receiver gets right. 14 yards at a first down. Taylor 10 of 15, 101. A touchdown, no interceptions. Ball went full house from the 9. 1st and goal last time. He's certainly going to do it here from the 5. David Morgan is your blocking back. Alfred Morris, your 3rd running back. Morgan's covered by a linebacker 4, as is Todd Gurley. Gurley caught that touchdown pass last time the Chargers were down here. Tony shows blitz. Short pass Nelson Aguilar against the run. 4 men there. Receiver, sniper scope, touchdown. Nelson Aguilar. 13-0 Superchargers. 3 seed looking to hold serve here. Paul wins this game. He will host the winner of Chicago, Kansas City. Kick is up and good. 14-0 LA. We love it. Minnesota, LA. Just, what am I doing? I have failed you all. I'm looking forward. I guess I'm looking forward to those ratings next week. Some people thinking tomorrow. I should email, see if I can find out a hard date on that. So Tony's got his own 26. Oh my goodness, what happened here? It looks like a turnover happened. Paul's got the ball at Tony's 26-yard line. First down and 10. We're going to find out from the ball possession. There's an off tackle as I bungled that by going away. And it must have been a fumbled kickoff. Off tackle gets right as 9 yards. I've got the box score. I've got the super highlights on. It's not showing it here. Not showing fumbles here. I'm not sure what happened here. It had to have been a fumbled kickoff or something right after that, but it's 2nd down and 1 for the Chargers. The Vikings 17, already up 14-0. The defending champs on the ropes. Emerald left to Todd Gurley. Defense calls pass 8+12. First and goal from the 5. Full house backfield has been the order of the day for Paul down here. He's calling his plays quickly, trying to get off the screen, and it won't cooperate. Tony's been guessing run down here. Linebacker Todd Gurley. Defense calls run. Linebacker in zone 0+4. Jake Ryan is a 5. White die 4. No gain for Mr. Gurley on that play. 8 of 8 carries, 32 yards. We're early the second quarter. It's 14-0 Chargers. They're looking for more. Looking to go up 21-0. We're not sure what the turnover was. It had to be either maybe a kick return fumble, maybe a fumbled snap. We just don't know, as thanks to technical difficulties. Hopefully next version coming out in 6 weeks to an internet near you is better. Show back David Morgan. Defense calls run. Freeman there. Receiver gets wrong. Touchdown. David Morgan. Captain Morgan. 4, 10, 14, 16 units gets wrong. So it's probably an 8-16 card. 20-0 LA Chargers. Early second quarter. Tony up against it in a big way. Interesting. We have both of the competitors for the 11:45 game in the room. Dan and Lawrence looking to get into strat mood, getting ready for their own game. Maybe some scouting, maybe just to be near the game and get ready, get into that feel. And this time, Tony managed to save the kickoff. 1st and 10 of his own 34. Off tackle left to Marshawn Lynch. Offensive onside tackle +8 or +3. Andrew Whitworth is a 6. He makes all the blocks. 2nd and 2. Tony down 21-0. He's got to be thinking, let me just get a good drive here. Please. Paul, I think this is really only Tony's second possession. Paul received first and a long touchdown drive. Tony drove middle of the field, punted to the 4-yard line of the Chargers. Paul had a zip, 96-yard touchdown drive. Then we believe Tony fumbled the kickoff. Off tackle right, Marshawn Lynch, 2nd down and 2. There's a linebacker there, gets wrong. My card, your card, 50-50, some people say. 8 is +3 at first down in the defense. Lynch 4 carries for 30 yards. 18 unfatigued carries left. Now, Paul's defense looks like they are suspect. But Tony played ball control here. He's not used to this. But he's got some weapons with Mike Evans and Gronk, and certainly a running game with Lynch, and even a little bit of Tevin Coleman at 2-bit on the off tackle, if I recall correctly. Tony just wants to say, let me just score and a stop. That best left Des Bryant, but don't tip out a linebacker, so no one there gets wrong. Good call by Tony. Perfect call, really. And boxcars on the defense, 30-yard completion. John Simon abandoning the zone, and Alex Smith saw it coming and hit Des Bryant in the flat, rather. That was a white die 5, so that would not have been a 30-yard completion if Paul had stayed home. But right now, Minnesota's going to be staying home if they can't make a nice comeback here. Thankfully for them, there's plenty of time on the clock. 21-0, 9:36 to go in the second quarter. Short pass Gronkowski. Defense double teaming elsewhere. First time we've seen Gronk's number called. Alex Smith threads the needle on a 5. He's got the 3.57-9, same as Jimmy Garoppolo, who I used this year. 10 yards in a first down. Alex has got the nice must runs mixed in at 8 and 10. He could do some more solid yardage, and the interception is very low at 2-3. So not a bad card to throw with. And we saw Tony's got 4 7s and a 5 on the offensive line, with Nick Boyle as a 5 at the blocking back. 1st and 10 Vikings. They need to get 7 here. I mean, you'll settle probably on 4th and 8 or something. for the 3, but boy, you really feel like you need this when you're down 21-0. Am I right, Marshall Lynch? Even gets the pass, nobody there. Double box in play, which would be a touchdown. Blocking back +3 or -3, gains 3 for Nick Boyle, toil and trouble, or whatever the hell it is that the witches say. That's not what it is. Boyle, toil, Anyway, he's a white dice 5 and he's a blocking 5 and a white die 4, and made the play. 2nd and 7, midway through the second quarter, 8:24 to go. This game moving right along. And run left to Marshawn Lynch. Defense calls pass from the 12-yard line. Offensive odds at end +2 or -1. Boyle made the block again. So some good blocking by Boyle has helped Minnesota gain only 5 yards on those 2 carries. And that's tough. You know, the guy calls run twice. You got beast mode there. You get 2 carries, gets wrong. You're at the 15. You're trying to come back, and all you get is 5 yards total. Now you don't even break containment. So Tony will be okay with that if he can get the touchdown here. Look at Des Bryant throwing at a 4. Can he get the first down? Alex Smith's got a fine flat pass. There it is. 7 + 6 and a first down for Mr. Smith, who goes to LA today, not to Washington. And we have 1st and goal at the 4 for the Vikings, who will probably go full house backfield. They use Latavius Murray quite a bit in the regular season, not just down here, of course. You want to look at the linebacker defense and the free safety. Well, there was Woodridge a 6. Reggie Nelson's a 5. John Simon's only a 4. Taria Whitehead's a 6. So you may see Tony running to his own left. Off tackle left, Latavius Murray. Defense calls run. No gain on Murray's card. His first carry of the game. 2nd and goal from the 4. You've got, who is this guy? And Nick Boyle at fullback. He's covered by a 0. There's a short pass target. Mike Evans, of course, covered by a 4. Gronk covered by a 5. So you've got some decent targets here if you want to take a chance and throw it against that good pass defense. Coleman's a halfback covered by 4. A lot of the 4s in that back 7 of this Charger defense. Hasn't really killed Paul this year. Did an excellent job with the defense. He always does an excellent job. Oh, well, he pretty much always does an excellent job with his teams, offense and defense. And did a very fine job with this team this year. 2nd goal for the 4, Marshawn Lynch. No linebackers there. Tony looking good on the defense's card. Gets his own card, only 2 yards. So it's been a struggle for Tony since he got down inside the red zone here. I mean, you're going full house. You got 5, 5, 6 for your blocking. And the guy leaves nobody there, and you get you get your own card for 2 yards. Could have been worse, but you were hoping to hit the defense's card there from the 4-yard line with nobody in the zone and some good blocking on your end. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 2. See if he runs it again, or chances a pass to maybe Mike Evans or Gronk or Nick Boyle. Linebacker Alex Smith. Defense calls run. He needs the defense's card here because it's +1, 2 to 7. 8 is no gain. So I know he's not going to key Alex Smith, but your own card, you're only getting that on a 2 or 3. He's going to go for it, as we'd expect he would. He's going to go blocking back. I don't like this. I would have stayed full house if I was him because he had good receiving options from that full house. He still had Mike Evans and Gronk on the field, as well as Boyle covered by 0 and Tevin Coleman. 4th and goal from the 2. Will Paul give the run call? Paul likes to call pass. He's got the good pass defense this year. Not this year, this game. And next game if he wins. Off tackle left to Lynch. Defense calls run. Running behind Whitworth, the 6. Can Beast Smoke in the end zone. Offensive outside guard, +4 for 0. Touchdown. Kenny Wiggins, 4 on a 4. On 4th and goal from the 2. Tony was kind of due for something there, and he got it on the 4th down. He had plenty of opportunities before that, so he gets it in there 21-6. A little bit, maybe a makeup roll from Strat. And now it's 21-7. And here comes the kickoff. And there goes my connection. I think I clicked something correctly here. No, it's good. Got to do it. It just takes so much longer when you get kicked from the game and you're watching it than it does if you do a manual exit, and it's what you end up with is first and 10 of the 25. So a lot of times if you do it quickly, you're not going to miss a play. And we're left to Todd Gurley. Defense calls run. 8 is +3. So Gurley, this card this year, so now the end run right is much better than they usually are. So now that big, -4, -5, -6, you see a lot of guys, and that 7 through 12 is still getting you some positive yardage in the 2 and the 4. So you can run the end more with him than a lot of your backs. 2nd and 7 for the Chargers. They're on 28, 21-7. Now LA feels like, all right, we got to do something here. Don't want to, go 3 and out and give Tony some big momentum. And they get a short pass wrong to Nelson Aguilar, incomplete. I missed Taylor's call. The only things he's done wrong today is 3 touchdown passes. 1, 3, 8, 12, 15, but only 16 short pass wrong units complete. Of course, you have the receiver reading to enhance that significantly, but that's still a weaker column comparatively. You're getting 20-something out of 36. Still above 50%, but still weaker than typical. 3 wide, 1 halfback. Paul was killing Tony on 3rd and long on his opening drive. Here's a free safety blitz, and you get a passing situation 7-2, but dump off is for 5 yards only, and the Chargers will face 4th and 2 for their own 33. The Minnesota defense finally holding. It'll be Kevin Huber with a 49-yard punt. That's going to be down to about the 18-yard line for the 2-back, Andre Roberts. He returned it 7 yards. He should be better next year. Was the Pro Bowl return man for the NFL Jets. Who also didn't win any postseason games this year. Didn't win 20 regular season games either. Well, we got 1st and 10 for the Vikings, their own 25. 3:36 to go, and they get the ball to start the second half. So you want to put together a nice long drive here. Sure, Mr. Gronk, successful double team by Paul, maybe the first one of the game, with Beast Mode in the backfield. And a dump off is complete for a short gain and 16 yards from Alex Smith to Des Bryant. And, you got all these 4 7s and a 5 on the offensive line. It's just hard to generate any pressure against that unless you got some really strong rush and you're going to blitz aggressively. And pass blocking with a good quarterback is really nice in these modern leagues that play the modern rules, meaning the dump off in the white die 6. Minnesota up at the 41. 1st and 10, off tackle left to beast mode. He likes to run the ball. Tony does with this team this year. And gains only 2 there. 2nd and 8. Maybe we'll see Murray or Coleman on this drive get a couple of carries. They might not want to run down beast mode too much. He has 9 carries already. And then on cue, there's Stephen Coleman. 2nd and 8. He ran quite a bit for this team, I believe. I could be wrong about that. Maybe it was a different team's stats I was looking at. Because, Lynch ran, of course, and I think Murray ran, so maybe Coleman didn't run that much. 2nd down and 8. He's got a chunky off-tackle card, but it's not that bad. So a +21 on a 9 or something like that. And he's a good receiver, of course, known for that. Linebacker Tevin Coleman, even double teams Coleman. Nobody did, no linebacker there. Double box in play. And right tackle -1 a +9. DeForest Buckner, the young DL for the San Francisco 49ers, makes the play a 5 and a 5. That hurts Tony. The double box was +17 on an 8. So he's got 3rd and 9. These 4-3 defenses with 5s or better at tackle are tough. They're tough to run on. Of course, 2017 set, the linebackers are generally poor, so it's harder, I would say, to feel those 4-3s, but these guys did a real good job with it. 3rd and 9 for the Vikings at the 2-minute warning. Big 3rd down here, their own 42. Obviously, they don't get this thing at the punt. Well, maybe if Tony gets 7 or 8 yards, he'll reconsider that. He's going 3 wide, 1 halfback. Short pass to Gronk, defense double teaming elsewhere. Gronk covered by a 5. Dump off again in play, and there's a dump off for 6 yards. And Tony's going to face a 4th and 3. And decision time. He's at his own 48. He's played conservatively most of the year, but now he's down 21-7 late in the first half of this playoff game. And it looks like he's going to, well, we'll see. He's still choosing the formation. He's thinking, do I punt it here and hold him? I'm going to get the ball to start the second half. That's what he's banking on. Ball's probably relieved a little bit to see it. Tony frustrated. But Colquitt will punt it. Punt goes 43 yards and takes a Minnesota bounce down to the LA 2. So you have 1st and 10 for the Chargers at their own 2-yard line. Gurley, Griffin in the backfield. As the audience grows, Dan Thorauer joining us. 1st and 10 for LA. We love it. Looking best. Ryan Griffin defense gets his pass. Blitzes 1, so there was a chance for a flat pass sack there. Not on a black dot 5, but 4-yard completion. And Tony's going to call some defensive timeouts here. Try to force a 3 and out. See if he can get himself into some type of scoring position with a field goal or something. Off tackle left to Gurley. Successful run call. Dreaded 5. Guess right. No gain. Sets up 3rd and 6. Tony deciding now will let the clock run or call timeout. He calls the timeout. 1:07 on the clock. 1 timeout left. 3rd and 6. Big play here. 3rd and 6 for the Chargers at their own 6. Can Tony get the 3 and out that he's looking for? Maybe get about a 42-yard net start on the LA side of the field. And who knows from there what can happen. Latavius Murray's got some chunky rolls on his off-tackle column. Although no timeouts, you might not want to do the old off-tackle. No timeouts and about 50 seconds left at the 50-yard line. And what does Paul choose here? Taylor's a low interception quarterback, but still. You got the defense's card. There might be 4 men there. Looking past Kobe for the defense calls run. Linebacker 5'10" is complete for 9 yards. Would have been incomplete, guess right. Tony was looking for the linebacker draw. Paul's not really a 3rd and long draw kind of guy. Take chances with some kind of a pass. You're looking for Dennis Crowley to use your 3rd down anti-draw calls against. Dennis likes to do that. Once he mixes it up, that's why he's one of the better coaches, one of the best coaches out there. So now we've got the Chargers taking a timeout after that completion. And it's 1st and 10 for LA at their own 15. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic. Emmer left out. The defense calls run. Bold call by Tony there, and it was guessed correctly. Defensive end +1 and +5 not rewarded. As Brooks Reed, the 5 defensive end, beaten by the white die 6. Really did get out of bounds on the white die 6. So Paul doesn't have to use a timeout. 52 seconds left. 2nd and 5. Short pass, Nelson Aguilar. Defense calls run. Picked off 2 to 4. Complete on a 5. I could use that against Mr. Crowley. Oh, kill me. 12 yards and a 1st down for the Chargers up at their own 32. 21-7 lead. 45 seconds to go. You assume almost all these kickers are like at least 2 to 6, it seems like now. Not all of them, but a lot of them from the long range. And a lot of them, of course, are going beyond the 37. So, a decent chance to get a decent field goal attempt. You want to get closer, of course. You want to target about the 29 or the 28. So you don't have to live with that long field goal attempt, depending on your guy. But really, any field goal attempt that's at least like 2 to 6 here, you'd settle for it in Paul's situation. Sure, Mr. Emmanuel Sanders must run no gain statistical sack for Fletcher Cox, which hurts in a couple ways, as the clock will run on that. Paul will almost force to call a timeout here, and does. Everyone's always worried about, giving up that big run. You don't want to call run. The other guy's trying to hit his chunky numbers, but Paul goes for a wide 1.5 back, so I don't think you'll see, especially a shotgun, I don't think you'll see a run here. You do the emerald with Taylor, but you don't want to really do any runs with a quarterback from a multiple wide receiver set, because a wide dive right is killing you usually with a lot of negative yardage. I always kind of wonder why guys do that. Sure, best Emmanuel Sanders defense stays home. Guesses pass, 4 men, receiver incomplete. 5'10", 13, only 16-22. For Emmanuel, whose best days are now behind him, but he had a nice, solid career. Still in the NFL, I'm just saying. 3rd and 10. The Chargers had some promise a couple of plays ago, but they'll have to do something here to keep hope alive on this drive. 3 wide, 1 halfback. Todd Gurley. Game has slowed down a lot here in this last half of the second quarter. Maybe not. I think we were at 9:24 when we hit the second quarter. So this is, again, 20-something minutes. Flat pass right, Todd Gurley. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Gurley not covered, so receiver would be guessed wrong. But flat pass 2 to 3 intercepted, 4 incomplete, and Paul will punt it from his own 32. 22 seconds left. Ken Huber. Tony's going to go hard for the block. Or not. He's going for the return. No, he's going for the block. And the kick is blocked. 12 is a kick blocked by the Vikings. Is it Matt Blair? I don't know. You can return those for a lot of yards. And he returns it all the way down to the LA Charger 5. Oh, my goodness. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to try to punt the ball. As the rhyme, I'm sure, goes. First and goal from the 5 of the Vikings. 1 timeout, 15 seconds to go. Down 21-7. Can they get a touchdown here? And right, Marshall Lynch being run keyed by Paul. Gutsy call by Mr. Mankiewicz. Offensive on to them, plus 4-0. But Rob Gronk says, don't come after my running back. He tosses aside the defenders with the greatest of ease. With the blocking 6. And clears a 4-yard path for Lynch despite the end run successful key. And we have second and goal from the 1. White die 6. Lynch got out of bounds. Oh, baby. That means Tony can run it again if he wants. He can run it twice here. He sees it. He goes full house. Lynch and Murray, the running backs. Nick Boyle in the backfield but cannot run. Alex Smith, of course. How about a short pass to Mike Evans? Off tackle left to Murray being keyed. Tony hits the defense's card again, but this time no. Offense 10, -1. Sets up third and goal from the 2. Now, will Tony kick the field goal from the 2? We'll go for the touchdown. He's got 1 second left on the clock. 1 play. Alex Smith looking over the sidelines. As we Mason Crosby coming out. Tony says, I'll take my points and make it 21-10. I'll get the ball to start the second half. And even if I get a field goal, then it's a 1-score game down by 8. Kick is up and good on a 5 right at halftime. 21-10 Chargers over the Vikings. Chargers aided by a kick return fumble. And Minnesota scratching their way back in. Helped big time by a blocked punt with 30 seconds or so to go in the first half. They were down 21-7, so Tony takes the 3 points. Gladly, we're getting a water break here from Mr. Is it Pierscala? See, I forget that I'm sharing my screen in moments like this. I'm going to start clicking around and looking at things, but I better make sure I'm not showing anything too personal, I suppose. So we got an interesting game here, 21-10. Tony getting the ball to start the second half. I'll probably jump out of the game when I see a ready signal sent. All right, Tony's ready. Restating the good luck. Tony gets Andrew Luck back. Last year's SSFA championship quarterback. And that time you can see I left for no reason. Because as I was exiting, you may or may not have seen the ball was returned in the field of play. A bad call by me there, but hey, I'll still do it every time. First and 10 minutes, Minnesota at his own 36. I'll do it every time in a modern league. Short pass, Des Bryant, defense guessing pass, one blitz on. And D is a 2, is a 5 on a 5. 1-16 sack. Ronald Leary versus Grady Jarrett, no sack. And Alex says scrambles 15 yards in a first down. Vikings at their own 49, at the Charger 49 rather. So Minnesota right back in business. Let's see. I'd love to get a touchdown in this drive. Certainly, kind of really needs to get some points. You almost feel. Short pass, Mike Evans, defense double teaming elsewhere. Evans covered by 4, picked off 2 to 3, complete on Alex Smith's card. Smith 6 of 10, 78 yards. Chargers owning the time of possession, presumably, in that first half. A very long drive to start the game, and then with Minnesota fumbling a kickoff. Chargers getting a couple extra plays there. Flat pass left to Mike Evans. Defense gets his pass. Got a couple of blitzes on. 4 linebacker there. Tony looking for a white die 6. Gets it, but receiver gets right. 12 yards on a first down for Evans. Tony's done a nice job avoiding the double-teamed receiver, which is really important. I could not do it against Dennis in the first half the other night. It was one of my problems in that game. I think we've seen one successful double team of Gronk. Otherwise, Tony's had the right receiver to throw to with single coverage. And he's been running the ball quite a bit. And there's another one. Left tackle left to Marshawn Lynch. Defense double teaming Des Bryant. There's another +2. Tony says, get me off of that roll. I went to 5 of the 7. I'll take the rest of it. +4, +6, short game, +5. Those types of things. Peace Miller's got 11 carries, 47 yards. Tevin Coleman checks in 2nd and 8. He carried the ball once on a leave in the first half. Paul knows Tony's thinking run. Coleman, he does run it. Off tackle left to Coleman. There's a linebacker there, though, on the wrong pass call. And +3. Paul's been a couple of times getting the right linebacker in the zone despite the pass call and has been preventing a bigger run. Like that's the first down with nobody there, right? Yeah, +10. And Tony's in 3rd and 5 again that he was in shortly before the half. I think he ended up getting a touchdown in that possession, though. In the 3rd and 5 down around the 10. Got Tevin Coleman in the game, and you don't want to. You got the middle linebacker 6. You got a 4-3 defense that might bring up to safety. The left linebacker is a 6, so containment strong here. Looking past Nick Boyle. Covered by a 4. Defense covers Tevin Coleman. It should be decent for Tony here. And it's all better than decent. It's a long gain, but only 16 yards on the white die 6. Nick Boyle, not known for his 40 time. But that's why he was uncovered, maybe. I don't know, but it's 60. Boyle, the turf tripped him up at the Chargers 16. He had open field in front of him, but unable to generate the burst to take advantage. And it's 1st and 10. For the Vikings, the Chargers 16, his ball can only go 16 yards. 8 of 12, 106 for Alex Smith. No touchdowns, 1 interception. That must be the play that we didn't see when we were wondering if Tony fumbled the kickoff. Short pass, Des Bryant, defense calls pass. 4 men there. Chargers good against the pass. Defender extra short gain, incomplete. 4 makes the play. 4 and a 4, Joe Hayden, the veteran. See if he retains a spot on my FIFA team this year. I hate to trade away dirt cheap, but he's getting older. He might only be a 4. Probably only be a 4. If it's a 5, I'll keep him and use him. Need some help over there this year. 2nd and 10. Emmer left, Marshall Lynch. See if he gets the pass. Can Tony finally get like a short gain or something? A good reward here for a good play call. There it is. Short gain, 15 yards. Had it on 6 and 8. Down to the 1-yard line. 11 units of short gain and better for beast mode on the end run wrong. And now it's full house. First and goal from the 1. You want to pound this in. Just go right at the middle. I know he's got the 6 there. You got 5, 5, 6. Take a few shots right at the middle. I'll take a left to Murray. Stays away from the 6. Good for him. Blocking back +1 or -1. Nick Boyle does it all. He gets the 1-yard block. It's 21-16. Is Tony going to go for 1 or for 2? Looks like Mason Crosby will try the extra point. Might not be his specialty. 2 to 10 and 12. Makes it 21-17. Nice comeback by the defending champion Vikings. I remember saying I was looking forward to calling this game. I thought it'd be a little more low scoring. But still, bottom line is that it's close here. As Paul's got the ball first and 10 at his own 1st and 10 at his own 25. And it's 21 in a 21-17 ball game. Chargers with the lead and the ball. But it's a 1-score game. Unless he scores a touchdown, Tony will have a chance to tie or take the lead. Fly pass right to Devontae Parker. Guessed wrong. Receiver +8. Of course, plenty of football to be played here. 9:36 early 3rd quarter. But if you pull, when you go up 21-0 and then 21-7, you hate to relinquish the lead at any point in the game. It's like, it was all going so well. We've all been there. 2nd and 2 for the Chargers at their own 33. Melvin Gordon in the game. Don't think Paul did much running outside of Gurley in the regular season. Off tackle left to Gordon. There's a linebacker there. His defense calls pass. Guard 4-0. Joe Thuney misses the block. 6 on the wide dive versus Thuney's 5. And Gordon does not get the job done. Well, it looks like he's seen enough as Gurley comes back out for 3rd and 2. Defense showing blitz on 3rd and 2. It's a little bold. So what do you do with that boldness that you just showed there? Dan would know what to do. Likes to show the blitz. The short pass now is the Aguilar. Defense calls run, foot of the flat. And receiver gets wrong. State guy's 10 yards. Aguilar not really showing the blazing speed on this card. He's supposed to be a fast player. He get a much better year in 2017, perhaps. I'm not certain about that. He's not on any of my teams. But here it's the 1st down for the Chargers at their own 43, 8:24 to go. They converted another 3rd down. That one was only 3rd and 2, though. Short pass Nelson Aguilar. Defense calls run. Incomplete. Second down and 10. Second short pass wrong. Incompletion on Taylor's card that I can recall. 16 units plus the receiver, of course. Short pass Ryan Griffin. Defense calls run again. And receiver gets wrong. 12 plus 35. Ryan Griffin showing Nelson Aguilar how you do it on the edges. On the short pass wrong. A huge completion. Bringing the Chargers all the way to the Minnesota 22. Taylor's down 19 of 28, 194, 3 touchdowns. Tony Poole throws more than you'd expect of this team. Look at the stats. 28 attempts mid-3rd quarter in a game that he's leading and has been leading. He knows you have to respect Gurley. He's done a nice job with it. 11 and 5, number 3 seed. Looking past the Fleener. Defense gets his pass. Double teaming elsewhere. Fleener covered by 5. Plus 10. It was not a white die 6, so the blitz vacating the zone cleared the way for Taylor to find Fleener. The Chargers down to Minnesota 12, 6:54 to go in this 3rd quarter. Clock just moving. These guys not wasting time with their play calls. Paul always plays at a nice, crisp pace. Tackle left to Gurley. Defense calls run. Linebacker 6 there. Going 5-0. Thuney makes the block that time. 2nd and 5. Can the Vikings hold the Chargers to a field goal? Keep them in the end zone for once down here. It has not happened yet. Taylor's 3 touchdown passes. Full house backfield. 4-3 blitz. Alfred Morris is your other running option. Short pass to Gurley. The blitz is on. Goes covered by 4. 4-3 defense. And the blitz was 2 against a 5. Von Miller's asterisk coming in on the alternate, but it was a 97, so I'm not sure if even the safety's asterisk would have gotten it as a touchdown from Taylor to Gurley. I believe the second time today we've seen that connection inside the 10, and the Chargers go up 28-17 with 6 minutes to go. It's just when they look like they were up against it a little bit. Half man, half Mankiewicz, the veteran coach, all the experience in the world, responds with a beautiful drive and takes it into the house with Todd Gurley on a reception from Tyrod Taylor, whose pronunciation I will not have correct all the time. You're going to get an inconsistent pronunciation. There's a linebacker to Marshawn Lynch. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Short gain, 19 yards again for Lynch. We saw that, I think, in the very first play of the game for Tony from scrimmage. Was a 19-yard short gain from Marshawn Lynch. And Tony's up at his own 44, 28-17. A pair of teams that played very good defense in the regular season. We had 48-28. San Francisco over Detroit. You know, my club scored a touchdown. One touchdown, 7 points. Linebacker Marshawn Lynch, even gets the pass. Nobody there. 4 yards. 2nd down for Minnesota up their own 48. Tony will take that yardage. Stay with that +2. Give me some 4s and 5s and 6s. And I'll move the chains. Coleman comes in. 2nd and 6. Pull has not against run yet against Coleman. Only has a couple of carries, I believe. There's a looking pass to Mike Evans. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Good call by Tony. I like that. 6 is 2 yards on the defense's card. So that's up 3rd and 4. Because we got Coleman in there. Maybe I'm going to run with him because I've run it a couple of times cheaply before. We know we can catch. So you throw to one of the other guys who has a good matchup as well. So I like a call like that sometimes. Going away from the obvious, but still do something pretty good. 3rd and 4. You bring that running back and catch. Guys are thinking, are you going to run it? Is you going to throw it to him? I'll do something else. Probably safer. Off tackle draw for Coleman. Defense gets the pass. No linebackers. I like the draw call here because Paul's been blitzing at times. Defensive tackle +2, +6, only 2 yards. Grady Jarrett's a 6. So Tony made some good calls there. It didn't work out for as far as the first down goes. But now he's got 4th and 2 from the Charger 28. He's down by 11, late 3rd quarter. Do I stay or do I go? If he stays, there may be trouble, as I paraphrase. If he goes, it may be double. Do. Stratomatic football, you make the call. I don't remember if you guys remember those. Advertisements in Street and Smith's magazine. Tony conferring with Bud Grant over there, it looks like, on the sideline. What do you think, Bud? I think Bud would punt it. And Tony's going to go for it. Must be Dennis Green. Overruling Bud. Walking back 1 halfback, Tevin Coleman. Risky. You think he's not going to call run because Coleman's there? I don't think Coleman's that great. Guess correctly. Might be an M run over here. How about an M run at this 5 of Coleman? Or maybe a short pass. Flat pass left as Bryant. Team is double teaming elsewhere. Throwing at the 4. Big play here, obviously. 4th and 2. Receiver guess right. 9 yards and a first down to Des Bryant, who I think is a free agent right now, still in the NFL. So nice call by Tony. Solid roll. Flat pass right. They were going to 4 with Smith. Guys covered by 4. It's a good chance for the first down there. And he's got it at the Charger 39. Long pass, Rob Gronkowski. Nobody there. First bomb we've seen in a long time by this Viking offense. Gronk covered by 5. Dump off in play. And the dump off incomplete to Mike Evans that time on the dump off. 7 out of 5. Kenny Wiggins having no problem giving Alex Smith the time he needed. But Smith checked down regardless. And it was incomplete. So Tony with the judicious long pass call there. I like that call as well. Seems a good offensive calls from Tony on this drive. 2nd and 10 for Minnesota. They're at the Charger 39. Beast mode in there. 8 unfatigued carries left. Davis Murray's been buried in the sideline. Short pass to Bryant, double teamed by the linebacker. So receiver gets right is what Tony wants. 10 is incomplete. 11, of course, was a clean pick. 10's a must run, gets right. Incomplete gets wrong. That's what he rolled, but I was calling for a short pass at the 1. And the defense called run, but it would have been incomplete anyway. I was remembering that from earlier. Now we got 3 wide 1 head back. Paul goes dime at 3-2-6. But the old Ken Burrow safety is 0-0. With the free safety and the extra defensive back 0. Will one come to looking, or will both come to looking? Or will neither? 3rd down and 10. Not sure what kind of kicker Tony's got. Short pass Des Bryant, defense double teaming elsewhere. 4 in the zone. 1 blitz on for the 3-man line. And it's complete for 11 yards and a first down. Alex Smith finding Des Bryant, who's been the man today with 6 catches for 82 yards. Mr. Smith heads to the Charger 28-yard line. 1:48 to go, 3rd quarter. Even a field goal on this drive has Minnesota alive, of course. I mean, it's the whole 4th quarter to play, but you know what I mean. Kind of hitting shooting par, I guess. I don't play golf. I know what par is, but and we're left from Marshall Lynch. Defense calls pass. Defensive end +2 or +7, 2-yard gain. Stephon Tuitt shows you how to do it. 5 on a 5, 2-yard stop. And a 2nd and 8 for these Vikings. Tony's thinking, let me get in the end zone here. Drive's working well. The running, the flat passing, the short passing. You can run, you can play that offense. You don't have to throw bombs in the modern setting. Depends on your team, though. Ever left Marshall Lynch, defense calls pass. Offensive onside end +9 and +4. Nate Boyle makes the block. He's been doing it tonight. 9 yards for beast mode. 1st and 10 Vikings at the Chargers 17. 36 seconds to go. There's nothing wrong with throwing a bomb. Really, you need to have the bomb threat. You can do an awful lot with just running and flat passing and short passing, generally, if you have pretty good personnel, of course. 1st and 10 for the Chargers for the Vikings at the Chargers 17. I tend to shy away from the short pass out here that it would hit that interception. A lot of times there's 4 men there. Sometimes the defense gets a little liberal with their free safety as a result. Off tackle right, Tevin Coleman, there was 4 men there. Defense calls pass. And offensive outside tackle 83. DeMar Dotson is a 5. White die 6. Means it's only a 3-yard gain for Tevin Coleman. 4 carries, 7 yards. Not his finest hour so far. And that was the last play of the 3rd quarter. We'll start the 4th quarter here. The defending champion Minnesota Vikings looking to get into the end zone and make it a 28-24 game. Would he go for 2? Make it 28-25? Probably not. Probably early in the way that knowing how Tony likes to play. But you never know. Beast mode is the one running back in here. 2nd and 7 at the LA Charger 14. Looking past Mike Evans. Single coverage. 4 linebacker. White die 6 would be golden, but it's not a white die 6. It's the red dice adding up to 6. Incomplete on Alex Smith's card. Sets up a 3rd and 7. We saw Smith convert a big 3rd and 10 out, I think, around the Charger 39 a few minutes ago. That was instrumental in keeping this drive alive. Can he do it again? Otherwise, we'll see the field goal kicker out here. And this Charger offense has been very, very solid, moving up and down the field with lengthy drives. Tony doesn't want to have to try to Stop him again. Short pass, Rob Gronkowski. Correctly double teamed. Tony looking for a dump off. And he gets the dump off. All the pass blocking in the world over there. No wide linebacker anyway. The guy was a 7. They'll be in the left guard, Kenny Wiggins, I believe. The dump off to Jordy Nelson underneath. Makes it 13 yards. Tony said, better luck than good. There's nothing lucky. How about having 4 7s on your offensive line? Well, it's great to have them, but I mean, they're part of your team. You built this team. You traded for Andrew Whitworth this year, I believe. Roy Dotson is probably a long-time Viking, as is Ronald Leary, I believe. Spencer Pulley, I have no idea. First and goal from the 1 for these Vikings. Full house. Even running off tackles here. It's first and goal at the 1. You can run the linebacker. I know he's got 6s there, but off tackle left to Lynch. Trying to get behind that 6 Andrew Whitworth. There it is, +3 in the defense. Touchdown. Vikings, 28-23. Does he go for 2? 13:48 to go in the game. Does he go for 2 and try to make it a field goal difference? Or does he say, I think you probably go for 2 here, because if Paul kicks the field goal, let's say you go for 2 and you miss it, which is all right. And if Paul kicks the field goal, you still can tie a touchdown 2-point conversion. And that's what Tony's thinking. Blocking back 1 halfback. Big play here. I still would like to see him go full house in this situation. Short pass, Mike Evans gets wrong. Coming by 4. Long game.
Awesome. Thank you.
Doing well. As we hear some interesting sounds in the background. Those have just gone away. And I exited. And I heard those sounds. I was concerned about the broadcast. I think somebody departed because I heard all the sounds. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? The guy realized his own mic. I think that was Lawrence. So he's going to get the troops ready for the. They got 90 minutes still until the kickoff. A flat pass guessed incorrectly there to Devontae Parker, linebacker +1 and +6. Von Miller only a 4. This was like 30 years ago. He'd be a 6'6", but he's only a 4. So it's complete for 6 yards. 2nd and 4 Chargers up at their own 31. That was Taylor to Parker. Gurley's got 15 unfatigued carries left, early 4th quarter, so that doesn't look like it's going to be a problem. Short pass, Nelson Aguilar. Defense gets the pass, puts his 1. Receiver gets right, incomplete. And we have a 3rd down and 4 for the Chargers, who have just been killing Tony on 3rd down. This is like 3rd and 4, but even 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. He's been killing Tony on it. And those are much easier to convert in strat, it seems like, than in real life, those 3rd and 6s and 7s and 8s in the modern game with the modern rules. I should just say the modern rule set, but short pass to Kobe Flea gets his run on the 3rd and 4. Defender X incomplete. Andrew Sendejo, Foreman in the zone, forces the incompletion with his 5. We haven't seen too much of that. The pass defense ratings for that good Minnesota secondary coming up. And Tony will have a chance to tie or take the lead here in the 4th quarter of this big playoff game against the Chargers. And Paul Mankiewicz, 51-yard punt down inside the 20. Fair catch for Andre Roberts. And here come the Vikings to a shoreline near you. You hope not. 1st and 10 for Minnesota at their own 18. Marshawn Lynch in the game. Got 5 unfatigued carries. Tony will use him. He'll run the Tavius Murray. He'll run Tevin Coleman. He'll run Alex Smith, maybe. I don't know. Long pass says Bryant. Defense calls pass. The zone is empty. He's coming by 4. There's 1 blitz on. No D. 3 plus 28. Guess right and wrong on Alex Smith's card. And the Vikings have a 1st down. The first complete bomb of the game at their own 46. And you can smell the effort to come back and tie this game or take the lead. 11:42 to go. This team almost never turns the ball over. Talk about the kiss of death. Me saying that. Fredo You were my brother. You broke my heart. Flat pass right, Rob Gronkowski. If we see the double teaming and there was no one there otherwise, that always hurts when you see that. So double teamed on the quarterback's guard, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. I hate that when the guy like blitzes everyone and double teams the guy, throw flat to the guy double team. Oh, but damn, why can't I throw someone else? But that's coaching. Paul's been paying a lot of attention to Gronk, considering that Evans and Bryant are covered by force. So, of course, Gronk's so great on the flat passing, but all the passing. Paul worried about that. 2nd and 10 Vikings, their own 46. Now, I think he's been running on 2nd and 10 a bit here. Let's see if he does that again. Let's see if Paul ventures a run call. He doesn't. And we're left to Lynch. There was one blitz in the off-tackle zone. Tony ran outside instead, which is a good call. Then Devontae tackle. Whitworth makes all the blocks. 6 on a 6, 5 yards. We have like another 3rd and 5 for Minnesota. It's like the 3rd and 5 we've seen lately. You're at the charge of 49. You're down by a field goal. 10:48 to go. If you're going to go for it on 4th down, are you already deciding it's a 4th down territory? You're going to call a play here to break containment and maybe get the 1st down? I think a lot of us would go for 4th and short at this part of the field. Let's see. I mean, Tony's playing defensive most of the season, not taking a lot of chances. But he's showing a willingness to do it here when he had to, when he was down 21-7. Looking past the Gronk. Defense double team Mike Evans. Throwing at that 4 again. So we get a completion here on the 1st down. Defender +2, +8. Marcus Williams, the rookie, probably the 1st-round pick, is a 5. White die 6. 8-yard completion from Alex Smith to Rob Gronkowski. Only Gronk's 2nd catch of the day. 1st down, Vikings at the Charger 41. 10-12 to go. Oh, my stars and garters. Those Chiefs and Bears have got they got to live up to this one. They got to follow this up. It's a high standard being set here in terms of the drama and the tension in the 4th quarter of the Charger-Minnesota playoff game. Tevin Coleman checks back in. He's run the ball quite a bit when he's in there. He's thrown a couple of passes also. How about a draw, off-tackle draw? Linebacker to Tevin Coleman. Defense gets the pass, double teams Des Bryant as Alex Smith is getting going. Coleman gains 5 yards. And there you see that's not an awful card to run and gets wrong with. It's not going to excite you. It's not your lead back, right? But you can get some decent yardage there. Not that good right. Tony saving carries, of course. He's running out of them with Lynch. Lynch, not quite the workhorse he was in his Seattle days. Flat pass left to Coleman. Now Paul gets his run against Coleman. Now Tony catches it with the flat pass wrong. So Coleman's got a good receiving card. Defender X +1 or +3 is 3 yards against the 4 of John Simon. Tony was hoping for better than that. Coleman, I think, has a pretty good receiving card with the yardage on the flat pass wrong. It's 3rd and 2. There's been a lot of that for Tony here. He's right there in the game. So a lot of times he's gotten like a good play call. He's got like a 2 or 3 yard gain instead of something a little more substantial. 3rd and 2 for Minnesota at the Charger 33. Linebacker Marshawn Lynch. Defense gets his run, but no one is up there. The defense is caught here probably. Right guard +7 or +2. Ronald Leary is a 5. Makes the block. 7 yards of beast mode. 109 yards and 19 carries. That's what you want to do. In short yardage, give it to beast mode. Right, Pete Carroll? Down Bevel. 8:24 to go on this one. Field goal to tie. Touchdown to take the lead. And see if that Viking defense can hold it for you and send you back to the semifinals where you were last year on your way to the SSFA championship. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. On the road here in LA. For a hostile crowd of 19,000 at that stupid stadium. Left tackle right to Tevin Coleman. Defense double teaming Coleman, but no linebackers there. The left tackle is a 6, though. Good blocking to run by in here. 5.56. Dreaded 5 for no gain. Haven't seen the dreaded 5 on the wrong today. I don't believe. I'm sure it gets right with Gurley early in the contest. But now you've got 2nd down and 10. And Tony needs a moment after that dreaded 5. 1 second. I need to pace in a circle in my living room. Why is your computer in the living room? So that was a bad call by me. 2nd and 10. Skull. Tony complete the comeback. Oh, here's where you see like a horrible snap fumble or something. I don't know. There's only a one, but that would be bad. All counting Mississippi is when Tony says 1 second. 2nd and 10. Marshawn Lynch comes back in. 3 unfatigued carries. Tony's been throwing the looking passes. Haven't seen a looking pass to Lynch. I know he's not great at it, but you know he's not going to be doubled. Paul's been doubling the other guys. Maybe Boyle Toilet in trouble. Here, look that up. I don't think Paul's a down lineman as an asterisk. Looking past to Nick Boyle. There it is. Defense calls run. 6 plus 11. That was a 2nd and 10 run call from Paul. Tony's been running 2nd and 10 a lot of this game. Tony did a really nice job with his offensive play calling here in the second half. Running something counter to the trends he's been showing for most of the game. And remember, right to Marshawn Lynch. 1st and 10 for the 15. Got short gains on 6 and 8. Defensive end +5 and +18. Brandon Graham makes the play. 5 and a 5. 5-yard gain for Lynch. 20 carries, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dennis would like to hear those numbers. And the 2nd and 5 for the Vikings at the Charger 10. 6:36 to go. I knew it was a good reason I wanted to call this game. Guys helping me forget my own disastrous postseason. Let's move on from that. Linebacker Marshawn Lynch. Defense gets the pass. A lot of guess wrong calling on this drive. +5 for Lynch. 1st and goal at the 5. Tony's. It seems getting there. 4 or 5 yards at a time. They're getting there. Lynch down to 1 unfatigued carry. 1st and goal at the 5. Tony trails 28-25. Full house versus a good pass defense. Lynch is in the game. Here a linebacker quarterback would be okay, I think. If you want to go that way. Left tackle left is Tevin Coleman. Defense calls run. Got 6.55 blocking with a 6 blocking back. Linebacker -1 at +3. Ran at John Simon, who's only a 4 against the run. Right die 5, 3-yard pickup. 2nd and goal from the 2. The Vikings trailing 28-25 after getting that touchdown and 2-point conversion on their previous possession. This time he would kick the extra point to go up 32-28. 2nd and goal from the 2. Left tackle left to Coleman again. Running at the linebacker 4. Running behind 6'5". Linebacker zone +2 or +6. Doesn't matter. John Simon couldn't make the play anyway. Touchdown to Coleman. 31-28 Vikings. They were down 21-0. The comeback is complete. The extra point is good. 5:06 to go. The onus is on those LA former San Diego Chargers. And Paul is used to having the onus on him as a long-time, extremely successful STRAT football coach. Can that #1 scoring defense in SSFA be up to the task? Looks like Paul returned the kick. 1st and 10 at his own 26. Todd Gurley, plenty of carries. Throws the ball with Taylor more than you'd think. He needs a touchdown now. Flat pass right, Devonta Parker. Defense calls run. Picked off 2 or 12, incomplete. Ball says, damn it. This flat pass wrong, incompletes with a pretty good card are tough to deal with, especially when you're trying to mount your own comeback with 4.5 minutes to go now. 2nd and 10, Chargers their own 26. Tony's focused on Gurley quite a bit. Taylor's got 4 touchdown passes. It's been a long drive for the Chargers. They need one now. Short pass, Nelson Aguilar, another run call. Incomplete again in Taylor's card. Those 16 short pass wrong units hurting Paul tonight. Even though Taylor's had a pretty good game statistically, actually, 22 of 35, 217 isn't really that great for a modern quarterback if you just want to look at completions and yardage. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, but I'm just saying from a moving the chain standpoint. And the Chargers offense has not done a lot the second half. 3rd down and 10 here, a big one. 3 wide, 1 halfback, nickel 3-3-5. Chargers at their own 26. You've seen Colby Flino on the flat. Short pass Emmanuel Sanders. Single coverage against the 5. Receiver 7 incomplete. Paul's got a 4th and 10. Probably has to punt it here. And Minnesota's going to get the ball with a chance to run out the clock. They'll need to drive. There's still 3:54 to go. So they'll need to drive. And if they run out that far, they'll probably get some points at the end of it. 48-yard punt goes down to about the 16-yard line, maybe the 26. 48, 16, 70 for the 26-yard line. Fair catch for Mr. Roberts. Great movie if you never saw it. Henry Fonda and James Cagney. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 26. And I'll tell you another thing, mister. That's a great movie. I should see that. I haven't seen that in one time. Young Jack Lemmon, I think, is in that movie as well. 32-28. Vikings blocking back one halfback. Marshawn Lynch. 1 unfatigued carries. 1 unfatigued carry. Singular. Flat pass right to Gronk. Defense calls pass. 2 linebackers there. 3 would be picked on the defense. 2 is incomplete on Alex Smith's card. 2nd down and 10. Also says I need 2 more plays. 2 more stops. Lynch back in there. A little some cat and mouse with Lynch's presence in the game. I think you're going to see some running here. I think you're going to see an end run this side to Lynch, which we have not seen yet. We've seen the other side. End run left to Lynch. Run called by the defense. No linebackers there. My card, your card. Offensive onside guard +8 or +3. Kenny Wiggins, the 4, makes another big block. It's an 8-yard gain. Would have been only 3 and 3rd and 7 for a team that was not going to go for it on 4th and long. Instead, they get 8 yards to make it 3rd and 2 on Marshawn Lynch's last unfatigued carry of the game. 3rd and 2 for the Vikings at their own 34. 2:42 to go. They lead 32-28. Tevin Coleman's in a halfback. It's one of my better games called in a while. I think I was crisp tonight. 3rd and 2 for the Vikings. Looking past that point, defense calls run. 2 linebackers there, 50-50. 12 incomplete on Alex Smith's card. The only thing besides interception split. Oh my goodness. Tony says, you've got to be freaking kidding me. And I don't think he said freaking. 4th and 2 for the Vikings from their own 34. Probably going to punt it. You're up by 4. But boy, you're angry right now if you're Tony. You're winning and you're angry. Dennis Colquitt? The D? Whatever. Dustin, that's right. Dustin Colquitt to punt it. The block is on. Beastbo looked like he was in there as the up back, gutting it out. I wish Strat would automatically do default like special teams guys. Anyway, we had a 40-yard punt that bounced for 7 yards, and the Chargers have the ball. 1st and 10, their own 19. 2:06 to go. 3 timeouts. The veteran Paul Mankiewicz, multi-time champion from various Strat leagues. The newer Tony Pierscala, defending SSFA champion. Paul needs the TD. Tony needs to keep him out of the end zone. 4 wide, 1 halfback, shotgun formation. Flat pass left to Gurley. He is covered. Linebacker in zone, the 4, Brian Arakpo makes the play. Known for his pass rushing ability, but he does it there. I think he recently retired. 2nd and 10. He's not retired right now in this game for the Chargers at their own 19. A lot of 1st and 10 going nowhere in the second half for Paul's troops. Tyler Boyd is one of your extra receivers, the 4th one. Not sure I like the 4 wide here, but all best to Tyler Boyd. There's a 6 back there. He's covered by 5. Dump off in play. 8 incomplete. Well, I mean, you're not giving Gurley a chance really to be as much of a factor here when you're going this multiple formation on 1st and 2nd down and 2 timeouts and 2 minutes left and 3 timeouts. 3 wide, 1 halfback shotgun. And again, if you didn't get the first down here, you're punting it and trying to get a stop again. So maybe Paul's got a chance at 2 possessions, I guess. But the short pass to Emmanuel Sanders, successful double team by Tony. 4th and 10 Chargers. You're going to go for it? You're going to go for it. If you doesn't get it, you hold Tony to a field goal and you get the ball back. That's what he's thinking. 3rd, 3 wide, 1 halfback. Tough to punt in these situations. You don't feel confident you're going to get the ball back. 3 wide, 1 halfback. Shotgun formation. 4th and 10. Short pass to Devonta Parker. Foreman in there. Taylor needs this one. Must run sack -1 by Jake Ryan, the linebacker. Taylor goes down behind the line of scrimmage. He tried to get away but could not. You had the must run. 2-6 was the first down. That's 15 out of 36. That's 38.3%, but the majority ruled. And the Viking defense may have clinched the comeback on the road against the LA Chargers for the second time this year. The Vikings will have beaten the Chargers, and you've earned it when you beat Paul in the regular season and you beat him on the road in the playoffs, and you make the semifinals for the second straight year, and you're the defending champion. Off tackle right, Tevin Coleman. Short yardage defense, 137 to go. Paul's got 3 timeouts, and we'll see every one of them. +3, second down and 7. Now remember, as Paul uses his first timeout here in defense, remember the field goal block always in play. We've seen more than a couple of those, and not only are they in play, but they can be returned a long way. If you look at that field goal block, sack, fumble, return chart, you want to scoop those up and head upfield. Second and 7 for the Chargers, not the Chargers, the Vikings. Tevin Coleman in there, minimum fumble member. Off tackle left to Coleman, defense double teaming Coleman. Nobody there. This could be a first down and pretty much end the game. Offensive on 10 plus 2. Dick Boyle makes the block. He's done it all night. First down for 7 yards. Paul calls timeout. First and goal at the 8 for the Vikings. 1:22 to go. Timeout here gets you to what? 107 or 115. And second down, third down, fourth down, I think he can run out the clock. I think he can just take a knee. I'm not certain. I'm doing it quickly in my head. Linebacker Alex Smith. Defense run keys Marshawn Lynch. +3 for Mr. Smith. 3 carries, 18 yards. Wesley Woodyard has 16 tackles. Who knew? Second and goal from the 5. That was close. He could just about, I believe, take a knee here. 2nd and goal gets you to what? You might turn it over 1 second left or 8 seconds left. So I'm not certain here. Trying to run down that math. Oh, yeah, this will end the game. They're down to 30 seconds. It runs off to 45 seconds. And Tony Pierscala deserves this one. A great game. Both coaches played great. This is what you want to see in the playoffs. Not a sleepwalking New York Jet offense. You want to see a couple of guys going at it, going back and forth. Ah, boy, what a great game. Minnesota at LA. I think last year was my summer of Strat burnout. Don't think I called maybe any, or certainly not too many, of the SSFA playoff games. But I called this one. And the defending champion shows that championship medal, down 21-0 in the second quarter. Gets to 21-7. The ball at the 2-yard line, like last play of the first half, says, I'll kick the field goal. I'll take my 3. Makes it 21-10. Comes back 21-17. Paul, with his championship pedigree, says, I'm going to respond. I'm not going to fold like a cheap tent. Drives for a touchdown to make it 28-17. And the Vikings just came back and just came back and just came back. 32-28. Scored the last 2 touchdowns of the game. The last 15 points of the game. Game took about an hour and a half. Vikings at 361 yards to 315. Did a great job against the Chargers in the second half. 40 carries, 170 yards rushing to 27 passes. Time of possession 35-25. And that's when Paul took about 8 minutes off the clock on his opening possession of the game. After that, it's basically 2-1 in the Vikings' favor. Only 17 carries, 99 yards for the Chargers, despite having Todd Gurley at only 12 carries, 45 yards. Dan Moran says that's not how I would have used him. I know a lot of times I don't run the ball as much as I should, even sometimes with my lead backs. Paul, that's usually not an issue with Paul. Paul's a great coach. This is a great game. This is what you want to see. Look, if you lose the playoffs, when the other guy's got a good team and the 2 of you guys go toe-to-toe and you duke it out, you tip your cap. You don't mind. I don't mind anyway, losing in this fashion. So what a ball game. Vikings, Chargers. Vikings advance to the semifinal. And it's going to be, Minnesota's going to travel again. They'll be on the road. And they'll be traveling either Kansas City or Chicago. Bears at Chiefs coming up in 64 minutes, 11:45 p.m. Eastern. Lawrence Green against Dan Moran, with our good friend Dennis Crowley calling that one. as it approaches the midnight hour here on the East Coast. Adios, guys. Good luck to everyone else. Bye-bye.